Hey guys, it's Johnny and welcome to episode 76 of the Travel Like a Boss podcast. I'm here with my really good friend, Chris Lioe from Irvine, California. Welcome, buddy.
Thanks you for having me.
Yeah, so how did you end up here? How did we know each other, actually?
I met you maybe 8 or 9 years ago while we were both in college. I knew your roommate, Curtis, and I met him through our mutual friend. It's either John or Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
I just met you.
So basically college friends. And when I first moved out to Thailand, what did you think, and what brought you here now 7 years later?
At the time, I didn't even know that you had moved out. I think it was John that told me about it, and I thought, oh man, that sounds fucking rad. Mm-hmm. And I remember at the time I just got into jiu-jitsu. I was like, dude, maybe I should travel and do jiu-jitsu because Johnny's traveling and doing scuba diving, something he loves, and if he can do it, why can't I do it? But
and then 7 years later, what made you finally move here?
Well, you kind of switched life paths and started making money on the internet, becoming a digital nomad, is I guess what they call it now. Yeah. And that sounded really cool to me and interesting.
So you're technically a digital nomad now too.
So I'm technically a digital nomad now too.
Yeah.
And I'd left my job that I'd been at for like almost 6 years, and here I am.
So what was that job? What did you do?
I was a business analyst at an insurance company. Okay,
so kind of what Chandler does in Friends.
Not exactly what Chandler does in Friends, but I would basically mash data together. Yeah. From SQL and other Excel spreadsheets and make reports out of them.
So basically something that I still don't understand, even though you explained it 10 times.
Yeah.
And I'm sure nobody listening to this understands.
It's not that interesting.
Okay. So I guess you're somewhat tech savvy then?
I'm tech savvy enough.
Okay. And do you remember, I think it was 2 years ago when I came back to the US for someone's wedding, I don't remember who, but I was like, hey Chris, like, I finally figured out how to make money. Like, you need to do this as well.
Yeah, you actually sent me a weird textbook or Facebook message about it. I was like, what the fuck is this, spam from Johnny? I was like, his account got spammed again. And then sure enough, when I met up with him, you told me all about your new dropshipping course that you took and introduced me to it and kind of showed me the ropes.
Yeah, and then so we actually started a store together. Yeah. And then I didn't hear. I was like, all right, well, just run it. You know, basically my goal wasn't actually to make money from that store or the store I tried to start with Jason, or the store I tried to start with my other friends. You know, I was just like, well, I want to teach you guys how to do this because I learned it.
Sure.
And it was, at the time, I don't know how much money I was making. I probably wasn't making that much, but I was making like...
You were making already almost a sale every day when I saw you, because well, no. I remember we were at, what was it, John's garage, where he had that car, or he had that auto shop or whatever the fuck it was. And I remember your Shopify alert going off on your phone. You would jump up and down, you know, and you would like... I just made $150 on this sale, and I was like, that's ridiculous. You know, so
I think that's because it was cool being in US business hours, because normally, you know, in Thailand I get all the sales while I'm sleeping, so it's nice waking up having new sales. But it was super cool hanging out with my friends at my friend's garage when he was working on his car, and then getting a sale live and be like, wow, you know, I can't believe I just made money while kicking it, you know, which is what we do a lot. Yeah, so I was really excited, and I was like, all right, Chris, we're doing this. And I think I tried showing like 3 or 4 friends how to do it, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
And one of them, Adam, he's successful. He's in Saigon now. And then you're pretty successful. And then there's 2 people who just gave up. They never really started, if you think about it. Like, literally as soon as I left, and I was like, all right, here's 10 things for you to do. They did like one of them, and they're like, okay.
Yeah, I followed through on that 10 things list. Yeah. And that niche doesn't really generate too much money right now. It's still I still get a monthly income from it, a couple $100. Okay. It's nothing to write home about, but you know, it's still something for doing nothing, or something for doing some work a long time ago.
Yeah, you know, that's cool, right?
No, it's really cool because it really, really got my feet wet and introduced me into this kind of workflow. Yeah. So that the next store that I made, I generated more money, and then I built another one, and then I built another one. Yeah. I built another one. I
think that was kind of the whole point of it, you know. I mean, I think at that time I was like hoping it'd be a home run as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the fact that you make a couple $100 from a month, and it's pretty much passive, right?
Pretty much.
So that's awesome. And then so now, Chris, what's your goals with drop shipping, especially while you're out here?
Well, I was talking to it's not a supplier, but I guess it's a colleague of mine that works with other sellers and drop shippers at work, and he told me about a guy that an account that he'd gotten, and the guy had almost 500,000 SKUs of just everything.
So a SKU is a unique product number, I guess.
Yeah, it's like an individual product of.
Okay,
you know.
So like white toilet, 26 inches.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
so the guy basically had access to literally anything you need ever. Like he was his own overstock.com basically.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal is to get to that number as well.
So I think that's cool because most of us were doing these niche stores. I would say almost everyone following Anton's course is doing niche stores because it really is the best way to get started, the best way to work. But then you're kind of taking it to a new level or a different level, and you're like, well, I want to be overstock.com, or I want to be Wayfair or HeyNeedle.com.
Sure. I think I actually credit my ability to handle this many SKUs to my 6 years experience in a corporate job, because I don't think I'd be able to keep track of all the data and all the shit that goes along with it.
So
if I couldn't.
Normally, like when I start a store, I manually upload each product page. So I get a product. Let's say it's the white toilet, 26 inches. I will physically like find photos for it, upload them, write the description saying, "This is an American-made toilet. It's made out of porcelain. It fits standard plumbing. It's easy to install."
Yep.
You don't do that for your. How many products do you have now?
I have close to 50,000 SKUs in total. Okay, including all my niches.
Basically 50,000 products.
50,000 products. 50,000
And how many do you hope to have by the end of your 3 months here in Thailand?
So I'm here for 3 months.
Yeah.
And so far I've been uploading about 150 SKUs every other day. So maybe almost 500 a week. But I really, really want to scale that up. I hope to have at least 300,000 by the time I leave, which will be September.
Okay, so obviously you're not uploading them individually. You're uploading by like a CSV.
Correct. I upload in bulk. So I write code to kind of mash all the data together. I download all the pictures automatically.
Okay.
And everything gets uploaded in bulk. Then if there's problems, I correct them individually. Then it's really easy then.
All right. So you're uploading CSVs, which are comma separated values. So I've never uploaded one of those before. And it's cool knowing that like whatever you did at your old job has given you the skills to be able to do this on your own.
Oh yeah, totally. I don't think I would be able to get here as quickly. I think I would have got here eventually. Yeah. I mean, obviously this doesn't require super technical skill, but it sure did speed up the process a lot.
Okay. So now you're making enough money to live out in Thailand?
Easily.
Okay. And so back home, seriously, what took you so long to quit your job and come here?
I don't know. Maybe the fear of the unknown. I was already kind of bored of where I was at. I'd just moved to Irvine. I'd been there almost 6 years. I'd been at my job about the same amount of time, 6 years. I stopped getting promoted.
Yeah.
Just general boredom, honestly. I needed to break the monotony.
Okay.
So I remember when I texted you or whatever, I was just at home, bored, sick, one day, had a sore throat, and I was like, shit, there's nothing to do here. So I was like, man, if I'm going to be bored, I may as well be bored in Thailand, an awesome place with Johnny.
And have you been bored since you've been here?
Not at all. I've probably been doing too much stuff, to be honest. I'm like exhausted day to day, but I'm having such a blast. It's been such an amazing past 3 weeks. Like,
okay, what have we done in the last 3 weeks?
Well, literally the day after I landed here, we went on a 2-3 day jungle hike where we went through the mountains of Chiang Mai, which was awesome. We hiked to like 2 different waterfalls. We did a rafting thing. It's like 6 hours of hiking a day, swimming in random lake pond things, and
And so the reason why I had Chris do it the morning after he arrived isn't just to be a dick, but it's the best way to combat jet lag.
Yeah, I still don't know if that's true, because I was exhausted the whole day, the whole couple of days afterwards. You know, I was still waking up at 5 a.m. going, shit, he lied to me. I think he just wanted to go on a hike and wanted somebody to go with.
But you know what? If it wasn't for resetting your circadian rhythm, you would have been waking up at like 2 a.m. Like,
so you gave me 3 hours?
Yeah. You know, kind of helped you a bit. You're welcome.
Well, thank you.
Alright, and so what else have we done?
It seems like I'm doing more. I almost want to say random things that I wouldn't normally do back home. So what did we do the last couple of weeks? We went to 2 night markets. We went to a Swedish midsummer festival.
What was that?
I guess the Swedish people get together midsummer to celebrate like some farming ritual thing that just carried on, but I honestly think it was just an excuse to drink and get together.
So tell everyone about the experience.
Oh, it was really neat. You didn't explain to me exactly what it was.
I said to you, bro, we're gonna go to Swedish Midsummer.
You said we were going to Swedish Midsummer. I had no idea what that was. So I put on a pair of board shorts, tank top, and sandals, and came over. I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. And then little did I know, we actually had to hike, maybe not long, maybe 20 minutes, down a rocky ass cliff to a waterfall. But I literally had sandals on, so I had to take them off and do this barefoot trek down there. But ultimately, it was beautiful. We had a good time. I met a lot of really cool people that I'm still talking to today. You know.
So the setting, what was the setting of it?
The setting was kind of funny too. When we got there was like 15 girls and this one guy, Kevin, all super cool people.
Yeah.
And they were just at a waterfall. They were all in their swimming gear too. This was just like when I walked into heaven. I was like, what the fuck? We're having a picnic at a waterfall with like 10 girls, and I was like, what the hell? This is what the Swedes do?
Yep, that's what they do. And what was funny is right next to them, like just probably around the corner.
Yeah. We met Chris. It's Johnny's. I guess my friend now.
Yeah.
Christopher, who I'd met literally the day before at a barbecue.
He just happened to be there, just like he wanted to go for a swim, and then the waterfall happened to be there, and he was next to like 10 monks in orange robes who were bathing in the waterfall.
Yeah, I almost thought he was a part of that monk crew. I was like,
yeah, because he has a shaved head.
Yeah, well, not only that, he was like right next to him. I was like, whoa, would you conforming to be a monk? Or
So these are some of the weird things that you see in Chiang Mai. Actually, yes, you took a photo of me yesterday that you said sums up my life in Thailand.
Yeah. So since I've been here, I've been making you do Brazilian jiu-jitsu with me, and you bought a gi finally.
Yeah.
And usually it's a social faux pas to wear it out outside of your academy or whatever back home, but you literally got done doing jiu-jitsu, jumped right back on your scooter, still wearing your gi, brand new white belt, and just rode home with it on. Got a good picture of it too. You can post it later.
I'll post it on the show notes of this. Is I think episode 76. But you know what? Honestly, if I was back in LA, I probably would feel too embarrassed to go in public in a gi. So a gi is a kimono. It's basically, imagine, you know, if someone's doing like taekwondo, the white uniform that they wear. Mm-hmm. And being a white belt isn't really cool, you know? Like so especially when it's like a brand new shiny white gi that looks like you just bought it.
Let alone riding it on a moped.
Yeah, on a scooter. And but here's the thing is I was thinking, I was like, you know what? Why should that matter? You know, if I was back in LA, why should it matter that I'm riding a scooter and getting great gas mileage, you know, having super low expenses, you know, be able to park it anywhere? And like, why can't we do that at home? Like, you know, why is this like a social faux pas? You know, unless you buy a Vespa, which is like $10,000.
I don't know. I feel more free out here, I guess. I want to say, like, I stopped shaving.
Yeah.
Right. I literally stopped wearing underwear. I've been wearing board shorts literally 24 hours a day.
Which is funny because we're not by the beach.
Yeah, we're not by the beach, but it's hot as balls out here, so I don't want to wear as least amount of clothes as possible.
But yeah, there's just so much more freedom, right?
There is just so much more freedom. Like you keep telling me, it feels like I'm in college again.
Yeah.
But now I'm in college, and I feel like I have a 30-year-old brain, so I bring all that experience of how to make money, how to have a lot of fun, how to meet new people.
And we have money now.
Yeah, and we have money.
And we don't have classes to go to.
Yeah, no bullshit to deal with. There's no responsibility. I feel like I have no responsibility to anything out here.
Okay, so honestly, I've kind of forgotten what normal life is like because it's been so long. Mm-hmm. What are some of the day-to-day or week-to-week responsibilities you had that you don't have to do anymore?
Well, it'd be easier to describe back at when I had a job back home, but, just doing laundry, doing dry cleaning, getting to bed at a normal hour. Like, now it's bad. I'm going to stop this, but I've been going out, 4 nights a week getting smashed and then going to work. But when I'm working hard. That's going to stop. But, I don't know. I felt even going to bed at a decent hour was tough because I eat on a weird schedule. And, back home in Irvine, if you don't eat by 8:30, you're either cooking your own dinner at 9 p.m. or going hungry because nothing's open anymore.
And food? What do you think the food here?
Oh, the food here is amazing. So I've been intentionally trying to eat for less than $4 a day some days.
For no reason, because you're making a lot more money than that.
I'm making more money than that, but it's just kind of funny taking pictures of what I'm eating and sending it back home, and I just want to see if I can do it. And honestly, it's more work than it's worth trying to save that money because the food's so cheap, generally speaking, anyways. And it's so good everywhere. I literally don't think I've had a bad meal since I've been here.
Mm. Yeah, so who have you been sending these photos to and how they've been reacting?
I've been meaning to post them, but I'm just so lazy. But I usually send it to my WhatsApp groups, my brother, just my friends.
Yeah, and how do they react?
Generally the same way, just disbelief, I guess. I have a friend back home that never cooks. He just never, ever cooks. And he lives in a pretty nice house in Corona del Mar. Kitchen's full of dust because nothing ever happens there, and he eats every single meal out. Mm-hmm. That guy would just be in heaven here.
Yeah. Yeah, food here is so easy, it's so cheap, and it's been so good too.
It's been amazing. I think the most expensive meal we've had was a buffet.
That was Mexican food.
I forgot that. That was a Mexican buffet.
But the normal food, I think for normal Thai food, the most we spent is $5.
Yeah. Or that hot pot barbecue place, whatever we did.
That was $5.
Yeah, that was $4.80 or something.
Yeah, that was good.
That
was legit.
Yeah.
Man, and then so jiu-jitsu, we just go to the local university club and basically just roll for free.
Yeah. I'm kind of refusing to pay for anything out here. And I've been trying to take a break from jiu-jitsu anyways, and this is a good break. I can roll at my own leisure, I guess. Yeah. And
I'm glad you're here that I'm doing it as well, because it's been one of those things that I've been enjoying as part of my life for a long time. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why I've been avoiding it lately is just because I don't want to get injured again. But I think rolling with you is really good because you're not a spaz, you know? Yep. And then you're a lot lighter than me, so you're not gonna destroy my joints.
Yeah. So I'm probably really, really careful when I roll. I'm probably too careful. I can probably use a little bit more of that smash and aggression, but I don't know. It's not my style. It's not my personality. Mm-hmm. I kind of roll to my personality, and I kind of let my opponent dictate my level, which is kind of bad at the same time, especially in jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
You want to force everyone to play, your game, as they say, but.
So I'm such a beginner in jiu-jitsu that I can't really speak on how my mindset's going to change as I get better. But as of right now, my goal would be to never care who taps me out and just be like, if I have to tap, I tap. So tapping, if you guys aren't familiar with jiu-jitsu, is basically saying, okay, you haven't made a submission or in a leg lock or an arm lock, and if I don't submit, if I don't tap and say, okay, I give up, there's a potential of me hurting myself or getting the blood cut off to my brain and passing out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sure.
So I think my goal would be to try not to get in bad situations, but as soon as I do, I'm just going to tap. I'm going to tap early. As soon as my arm or leg's in danger, I'm just going to tap. I don't care.
Oh, that's what I would recommend to everybody.
Okay.
Even though I'm a little bit different of the opposite. If I can fight a submission, I'll fight it till the death until I'm about to pass out, and then I'll be like, all right, fine, I'll tap. But if I know I'm going to get hurt, I'll tap right away.
Okay, that's good. So jiu-jitsu is such a cool sport. It's if you ever watch UFC, it's what they do when they're on the ground. And it was cool being able to buy an actual gi here. I would recommend if you are coming to Chiang Mai specifically or Phuket and you do jiu-jitsu, to bring your gi, because you can buy them here, but they're kind of limited in sizes. There's only one place that has it. But a year ago, 2 years ago, I would say don't bother bringing it. There's not enough people. But now the community's kind of growing.
Yeah, it's incredible. There's like Facebook groups out there.
Yeah,
constantly trying to get people to train together.
So so besides jiu-jitsu, you also tried yoga for your first time.
We went to a yoga retreat on, what was that, Sunday? 2 days ago?
International Yoga Day.
For International Yoga Day. So
and it was Chris's first time ever.
It was from 9 a.m. to almost 6:30 p.m. Just all yoga.
And then we had dinner with everyone after, so we got it was basically 9 to 9 almost.
Yeah, it was a different experience. It was fun though.
It was good, right?
It was definitely fun.
But what's cool, it kind of shows, first off, there's a huge yoga scene in Chiang Mai. So if you're into that, there's so many schools, so many people doing it. There was probably 40 people that day that showed up. But then it also shows how many events there are in Chiang Mai. Yeah,
it's like a never-ending flow of Facebook events that I see my friends going to.
Yeah.
Every other post is, so-and-so is attending this, and so-and-so is attending. I was like, wow, there's so much shit just going on.
So why doesn't that happen more in the U.S.?
I don't know. Maybe it does, but I think people are just stuck in their own routine, maybe. And anyone that comes out here is looking to do something new and different and fun. So I think it's maybe the attitude.
And meeting new people.
Yeah, and meeting new people.
And the fact that everything's so close.
Right. Chiang Mai is a relatively small city, so getting to and from any place is really easy. It's less than $1 to take a taxi.
And you've been taking a lot of cabs, right?
I've been taking a lot of cabs, but also been getting a ride from you.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll have to get my own scooter right now.
Yeah, but it's easy. And then most of these events have been free too. Or super cheap.
90% of them have been free, I want to say.
Yeah.
the only thing I think we paid for was yoga.
And that was $10 for a whole day, included lunch.
Right.
And we went to a pool party.
We went to a pool party, free also. Yeah. That was really fun. I literally met almost everybody I've met in Chiang Mai at that pool party.
And it was kind of it was almost kind of like a Vegas style pool party.
Yeah.
But instead of being $50, it was free. And then if you want to pay $30, you can get a wristband.
Yeah, for unlimited drinks.
Yeah, all you can drink all day, which is insane.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you happy you moved out here?
So far, it's been treating me really, really well, man. I mean, I told you earlier, the worst thing that's happened to me this whole time is I thought I lost my keys for one day, and then I didn't. So, I have no stress. Again, stressing no responsibility. My stores are doing well.
Do you think your business is growing while you're here?
I think it's growing while I'm here, definitely. But I'm putting a lot of hours into it. But it was still growing when I was back home too. Because I didn't take it seriously when I was back home. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be here now.
So So I can tell that you're the super conservative type.
Yeah.
Was your plan okay, if I'm not making $2,000 or $3,000 a month, I'm not moving here?
It was exactly that.
Did you have a number in your head?
I didn't have a number, but I put it to the point where I wanted to be able to make consistent money and have it grow, and I did. So every month has grown.
Yeah.
My revenues got up every single month consistently, and I guess that's what I was looking for. Whether it was $500 to $1,000, and then $1,000 to $2,000, and as long as I saw growth, I was happy to move out here. I didn't want to run out of money and go hungry and broke in Thailand and be like, Johnny, I need help.
But honestly, if you did, I'd be okay with that.
Thank you.
Do you think you could have made it happen if you came sooner?
Yeah, I think I could have made it happen sooner too as well. I was just, again, I'm stuck in my routine, and I love California. I still like living in California. It's a great place. I'm American at heart. That I shoot guns. I sell guns.
Yeah.
I love overeating. I love doing everything to abundance.
Yeah. So you sell everything, right?
I literally sell everything, I think.
Okay. What are some things you sell?
So I sell everything from toilet bidets to long distance precision firearms.
And so It's okay. So why did you decide to like create these mega mall stores instead of niching?
Well, it started off as a niche,
Yeah.
right? But then, some suppliers offered way more stuff than I wanted.
Yeah.
Right? So like, let's say, supplier X had 3,000 SKUs they can give me, and I only needed 50 of them. For this niche. But I was like, dude, what a waste of 1,500 products or whatever that I could use. So then I would start another store, and it'd be like, all of a sudden I had 2 stores now, and I would just clone them.
Yeah.
Do identical things. I market them, put them on marketplaces. So I was like, you know what? Every new supplier I get, I'm just gonna add them to a store.
Yeah.
And eventually, I found success in listing them on marketplaces, and I would still make sales off of my websites. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get everything. Anything that anybody sells, I will sell as well.
Okay, so if you have something that you want sold,
yeah,
send it to Chris.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's such a cool thing, and like honestly, things like selling guns, I didn't think was possible. People, and I think most people. For most people, it's not possible and it's not that it's not possible. For most people, it's not like a feasible, easy thing to do because you can't advertise it on Google.
Right.
You can't advertise on Facebook.
Right. You can't advertise it the conventional ways that we've been taught for internet marketing.
Yep. And you can't you can't ship it directly to someone using FedEx. You have to go through like
firearms dealer,
something like that. So, but you know what? Obviously, people are buying these things, right?
Yeah. So it's funny because the firearms website gets the most organic traffic of any site, and you almost have to do nothing. I think there's just such a high demand for it, or I don't know what it is, honestly.
Well, I think it's because there's such a big barrier to entry that there's not that many internet retailers selling guns. And by guns, like what kind of guns do you actually sell?
God, everything really. So most suppliers inside the firearms business will offer you their whole category because to even get an account with them, you have to be an FFL.
Okay.
So, literally everything from Glocks to shotguns to optics, magazines, ammunition, red dots.
I know, that's so crazy, so weird and so crazy. But you know what? Like I've always said, if it's a product that people are buying, why not buy from us?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't only that. It was more of a passion project to start out with, so that me and a buddy of mine can get cheap equipment, cheap guns, cheap ammunition. Yeah, it was basically for myself. And at the time he was off work, and we were both like, you know what? Why don't we just start a store? You make these websites selling niche products anyways. Yeah. Why don't we start one selling guns? I was like, yeah, why not?
And would you have been happy with it even if you never made a sale? You just got the discount?
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
totally. I've pissed away so much money on firearms now. It's kind of sad.
But I'm sure you're happier that you can both get a discount and you can make some money.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. We've definitely made money starting it, but.
And so like the customers, the customer questions you get, do you enjoy handling that because it's your hobby?
I definitely do. I do not mind answering a question about anything firearms related.
Okay.
It comes down to passion, I guess, right? Like I don't necessarily give a shit what kind of a couch you want to buy and how to go with the room. It's just not me. I'm just good at listing it and selling it. But I think with firearms it's a little bit different. I don't mind taking like a 30-minute phone call to answer questions about what I think you should have, what you're going to use it for, what I like to shoot, things like that.
Okay, so what gun suits me the best? What gun should I buy?
What gun should Johnny buy? I think you had a shotgun before and you really liked it. I think that would be good for you.
Yeah. Why?
Well, because handguns, I personally don't care for to shoot. They're fun. It's still fun to go downrange, blow 400 rounds or whatever, and go home. But I think you're more like me, and you won't like a handgun. But I think you like shotguns. Like I went varmint hunting one time, and that's so much fun with the shotgun.
What's a varmint?
It's like a small game animal.
Okay.
Like a small squirrel or something like that. And yeah, you just unload shotgun shells at them in their general direction. Like it doesn't take much aim, much practice at all. And I think you'd be really good at that.
I think that's what I do with my blog posts. I just start writing whatever I want without doing any research.
Exactly.
Shotgun approach. Something will stick. Something people will like.
Mm-hmm. And you seem like a random kind of a guy.
I kind of am a random guy, yeah.
So I do precision shooting. I don't think you'd have the patience for that.
I hate that.
Yeah, you'd hate it. So I think
all right.
good shotgun.
Okay. Done. I'm gonna order one.
You know where to get it.
No, actually, so one of the reasons why I like not being in the US is I don't buy a bunch of crap that I don't need. I like really think twice about, do I need this? Do I want to wait for the shipping or like deal with, you know, where to find something?
Dude, I was looking to buy that shaver thing today on Amazon.
Yeah.
It was $11.99.
Yeah.
And then it was $17 to ship. But they had a $22 tax on it, or import tax. I was like, fuck. This $11 thing costs $50 or whatever it is to get to me now. You know, and immediately I was like, okay, never mind.
But guess what? Here's the thing is, we end up buying so many $11 items back home that they take up space. They end up, you know, like half those things we probably never use more than once.
Yeah.
You know, and half the other, like a lot of those things we don't really need. And it doesn't become an $11 burden on us. It becomes a bigger burden.
Yeah. For sure. Like right now, in 2 weeks I'm gonna go to Phuket, and I'm trying to think what I can and can't take with me. So I'm just like, okay, I just won't buy shit. Yeah. So that everything I have right now will just fit in this backpack. I can go. Then I got to go to Colombia for a little while too. And I hear there's a digital nomad scene down there, so I'm thinking, well, and I spend a little bit of time there because I got to do that visa run anyways. So, you know, what if I spend some time in Colombia? I can check it out if it exists at all, or if it's just a myth or whatever the hell.
I don't know. I don't know anyone in Colombia anymore, so I don't know how big the scene there is there. But yeah, I mean, so like for me, I really do believe that, you know, that old saying, like a penny saved is a penny earned.
Yeah,
I believe that, but not a penny. Like I don't care about pennies. But if every other day I'm spending $20 or $50 buying some crap I don't need, that adds up so much. Like that really, really adds up.
Well, yeah, it definitely does. So I'm living to the minimalist lifestyle I can possibly right now, right? Again, everything's got to fit in my backpack when I go.
Yeah. So, okay, so what were you spending in Irvine? What are you spending here?
God. Well, I'm still paying for my insurance on my health and my car. But I think just generally speaking, lifestyle, just like going out and being social. Like I wouldn't go out every single night out there just because, you know, one, it's expensive. Two, I feel there's just not as much shit to do. Like I can only go to a restaurant and eat with friends so many times before I'm like, okay, let's do something new.
Okay.
But out here, I feel there's like so many activities and everything's so cheap that I don't mind doing it. You know.
And we meet people from like the weirdest countries.
Yeah, it's not. Maybe it's that too. Like I'm always meeting interesting people, or like people similar to me because, you know, everybody packed up their shit and moved out here, or is traveling out here for long term. Yeah,
so it's almost like right away it cuts out a lot of the negative people that you would normally meet. You know, and I wrote a blog post about it recently, the 10 people I avoid. And even though it, you know, some of that is written about people who I meet out here, you know, like day-to-day travelers or people I just kind of bump into, in the US or back home, man, that was like an everyday occurrence. You know, there's so many people unhappy in the US, and you know, it's not just the US, you know, it's in the UK and South Africa and Australia.
Yeah, sure.
And here in general, most people are pretty happy, I think.
Generally speaking, most people are here are pretty happy. I have yet to meet a single dickheaded individual out here, which is surprising to me. Maybe one or two.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a miserable dick in Newport or whatever, you're going to be a miserable dick here.
Yep.
So, you know, but generally speaking, most people that have the attitude to come out here aren't miserable dicks.
Yeah, and because the thing is, people kind of well, I would say most people have the choice. They're like, they don't need to be here; they can be anywhere. I would say the only people who become a bit miserable are the ones that still have that like that scarcity mentality, even though they're living here. Even if they're starting to make some money, like online or doing whatever they do, and they, for whatever reason, they can't shake that mentality, and they still have, you know, they still think pessimistically and like so. Here's an example: is people who are making money either with the dropshipping store or selling on Amazon or selling, you know, just doing whatever they're doing, but they're so scared that it's gonna go away, you know. And who knows, it might go away, you know. But first off, the skills that we've learned, we can replicate that on something else. And most likely these things are not going away. Like,
yeah, I don't know that they're going anywhere.
Yeah, I think things change a little bit. Maybe you find new marketplaces to sell on, new places to advertise. But I mean, e-commerce is not going anywhere. People are buying shit. People are buying more stuff now than they ever have.
They definitely are. They definitely are. Amazon's growing every day. There's new marketplaces popping up all the time. You know.
But like definitely some people are kind of just caught in that mentality. And you know what? I was so close to being caught in that. You know, I was.
When?
Before I discovered dropshipping, I think it was when I was trying to just live as cheap as possible. I really did have that negative mentality, and I remember random people, you know, commenting saying, "Hey, stop trying to live as cheap as possible." Like, you know,
dude, that was the major reason why I never joined you 6 or 7 years ago or whatever the fuck. Because I remember you were like, "No, what do you mean? I'm sleeping on the gym floor." I was like, "What? I don't want to go to some foreign country and sleep on the floor just so I can be free."
Yeah.
You know, I'll take my memory foam mattress bed under this warm roof.
But you know what? For me, at that time, I was happy to sleep in a Muay Thai gym floor so I can do Muay Thai all day. That was like my dream, and not have a job to go to, not have responsibilities. Yeah. But I also understand like why some people wouldn't want to do that. They're like, well, if I can't have it all, I don't want to do it.
No, definitely. See, I kind of let you lay the foundation of the blueprint on how to make money as a digital nomad and come out here. I saw your life. I was like, now I want that. Show me how it's done.
Thank you. So now I actually do have a memory foam mattress.
Good job.
And I'm living in like a nice condo in a nice area, and I have money.
Yeah.
And I still get to do what I want to do.
You're still doing whatever you want. Like so many days in a row here, people are asking me. I sit right next to you at the co-working space, and they're always asking me, "Where did Johnny go?" I was like, "Man, I have no idea. He just randomly closes up his laptop, goes on an adventure, goes meet I don't even know who for lunch half the time, and comes back as he pleases."
Yeah.
And you know, I still, you know, he generously shows me his sales and his ClickBank accounts. He's making money, so no one can really talk shit. You know.
And you know what? It's that's the cool thing about this life is if we put in the work and you know we build these businesses. If we want to take the afternoon off to hang out with someone, have coffee, or you know randomly go to lunch, you know, for 3 hours, or you know spend like take half the day to go and buy a gi for jiu-jitsu, no one's gonna say anything.
Yeah.
I literally came back yesterday with a gi and 2 kilos of lychees.
Yeah, I was wondering where you went for like those 2 hours you were gone. I was like, where the hell did he go? And he pulls up on the scooter. He's got a gi in one hand. He's got a bag of fruit in the other one. I was like, what the hell did he just do?
Yeah, well, whatever you like.
Whatever you want.
So, would you recommend this lifestyle to your friends back home?
I most definitely would. There is not a single reason in the world not to do this. I think not everyone can do it though. I mean, you said it yourself too. Most people, or some people, are better as employees, or they're better off as employees.
Mm-hmm. But even them, they can be an employee out here.
They can, but they wouldn't be earning as much. You know.
Well, I mean, not a Thai employee, but like there's that the Australian guy that we had lunch with today. He works for a company in Australia, and
like a remote working.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I tried to convince my job of that, but they wouldn't let me.
But were you willing to walk away if they didn't let you?
I kind of did. If they let me, I probably would still be there right now.
Okay.
If I had to tell you honestly, because it's a paycheck and I can collect it. You know, it's like so easy. I already had that job down pat. Like
so
routine.
You automated your.
I automated most of that job away because all I had to do was shit out reports on schedule. You know, and that's real simple.
So, kind of in layman terms, can you explain what your job was and how you automated it?
Sure. I would anything that wasn't like an ad hoc report or like something that they wanted like a one-time deal on was always delivered on a schedule. You know, we have Monday morning meeting for this. You know, every day this has to be to our overseas partners by 4 p.m. You know, we have a month-end management report I gotta do. I got a month-end accounting report I gotta do, and all that stuff is stored in like the company database. So you know, I learned how to write scripts to automatically pull it at a certain time, compile it, munge all the data together, shit it out into a nice presentation, automatically email it for me.
Automatically emailed?
Automatically emailed as well. and obviously sometimes things change, and obviously there would be errors in it every once in a blue moon. But someone would find it, like a manager would find it and be like, "Hey, Chris, what the hell is this? This is wrong." I'd look at it, I'd be like, "Oh shit, this one process changed. Let me just modify it a little bit," and then it would be fine for several months later. And then every once in a while, I'd make a mistake and be like, "Oh, he's human," but he does everything quickly and efficiently, and everything's on time and it's right for the most part, 99% of the time.
So these scripts, do you write them in Excel or something else?
So it's kind of funny. I was an Excel ninja at first, and then I was introduced. A friend of mine was like, "Dude, you should just learn VBA." I didn't even know what that was at the time. I was always just making models and using a ton of VLOOKUPs and shit like that. So I got a VBA for Dummies book, and then I learned that. And those books are legit, surprisingly. Yeah, and I learned that.
What does VBA stand for?
Visual Basic for Applications. Okay. Which is still, I use a ton of it to make my CSV files to upload to my stores. Okay. But even that had a lot of serious limitations. So then I learned Python.
Is it another programming language?
That's another language. Real simple one to learn too. I recommend everyone just learn it, just to learn it. I think everybody should learn at least one coding thing. Okay. Makes you super invaluable. And then I had to learn SQL for another thing when we merged with another company.
And then so you basically wrote a small program.
Right.
Like an app, or like how does that work?
Yeah, I used everything in command line, so I would literally flip a switch and everything would go.
Okay. And what would you do with all this free time then? Because I'm after you wrote this program, like what do you actually do at work?
Well, I had an AeroPress at work, so I would like grind coffee and go to the break room and make my morning coffee while my morning accounting scripts were being run. Yeah. I would go to stand in the food truck line because there was always a long line, always pissed me off. So I was always first in line. I don't know, man. Browse Reddit. I'm not sure where the time went. I would also learn new things on my own, just to make my job easier and better and faster. Okay. So I wasn't always dicking around, but there was a lot of it was dicking around.
Do you feel like any of that time was wasted?
Yes and no, because I taught myself how to code on that time off to do that, and I still use that skill today. So no, I don't think so. But I mean, could I have been more productive? I think the answer is always going to be yes.
Yeah. I think one of my biggest regrets when I worked at Honeywell is wasting so much time just knowing that I had a paycheck to collect. And sorry if my old boss hears this or anything, but I think just like most American workers, we'd come into work, check our email, and then just kind of do nothing for most of the day until 4 p.m. and then be like, oh no, I need to make some calls, or I need to reply to these emails. I spent so much time just researching stuff on forums, printing crap out, filling out useless reports.
Yeah, I don't even know where most of the time went anymore, because I'm working for myself out here now. Yeah. And like we said it earlier, when we're not productive, when we have downtime, we just close our laptops and go get coffee or whatever. So yeah. I think now that I'm working for myself, I'm more productive with my hours. Because I know how valuable they are when I can go be doing something else that's super fun. Instead of
because if we're not enjoying ourselves, we don't need to sit there.
Right. Yeah. Right. We're actually paying to sit there. It's just fun. Yeah. So.
Yeah, because of the co-working space membership. So, yeah, you know what? I do believe that even though once in a while I'll take a break and I'll play Hearthstone or something for 20 minutes while I'm at work.
Play an hour and a half.
An hour, yeah.
Just 20 minutes.
It's something I enjoy doing, and it kind of gets my mind off of whatever whatever work I actually had, and it refreshes me. So then when I start doing it again, I'm good. But most of the time, if I know I'm not going to be productive at work, I just leave.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, I'm done.
I think I'm still letting some projects swell longer than I have to. Okay. Because I don't set any hard deadlines for myself. And you see me. Sometimes I'll just be sitting there when I should be mashing on something, and I'm not. I don't know why. I still probably need to break that routine.
Or just go home.
Or just go home.
And you live right behind Fun Space, so
yeah, I can walk home and take a nap at any time.
Oh, my favorite thing before when I lived in that same apartment was leaving in the afternoon and just laying in bed and watching Game of Thrones. And I remember, to me, it was such a blessing knowing that if I wasn't feeling up for it, if I just wasn't having a good day at work, if I was tired for whatever reason, or just I just wasn't productive, I didn't need to be there until 5 o'clock and just look at the clock and be like, Mondays or Friday, whatever.
Sure.
I could just be like, all right, I'm gonna go home and watch Game of Thrones. And it was, it's not a big thing. It's free. It's like,
honestly, you say, oh, it's Monday and you groan or whatever, but I literally almost never know what day it is out here anymore.
Yeah.
Because we're almost doing whatever we want.
Yeah.
It's such a great feeling.
Do you wish that you would have came earlier?
Yeah, I mean, I think my experience here has been a little skewed because you're taking me everywhere. You already know all the best restaurants. You're already super plugged into the community here, so you're introducing me to everybody. I feel like you've already filtered out all the bullshit that I don't have to deal with. So maybe my experience is a little skewed, but yeah, I mean, I wish I came out here earlier.
Yeah. So do you think that if you had come, let's say, 5 years ago?
No, not Johnny's Life 5 years ago.
You wouldn't have enjoyed that?
No, I definitely wouldn't have. I mean, you know me. I like to be comfortable.
Yeah.
But
you know what? Yeah, all right, so I'm not going to blame you for that because a lot of people do just enjoy comforts.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's, for most people, so many things will just come up where they will end up not coming at all.
Yeah.
I honestly think that, most people will never 100% be ready. I think you're a very unique person where you can make a plan.
Yeah.
And then you can be like, okay, I'm going to give myself 2 years.
I stuck to it. They say timing will never be perfect, but
yeah.
I almost kind of made it perfect.
Yeah.
I left my job. They gave me a little bit of severance, I guess, to leave. I had a lot of savings, and I was able to collect during the time. And I was able to build my store up to the point where it was profitable and stable.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm ready.
And then you came.
Yeah, I literally booked a ticket 7 days out.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is perfect. And I'm here. Hit the ground running.
But for most people, I guarantee something's gonna happen. I remember warning you, saying, don't, end up buying a car.
Yeah.
Don't buy a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Don't sign another lease on a house.
Right. No, that was the hardest part. Really, was moving back. I had to move back home with my folks for a while. Now all my shit's there. I feel terrible about it. I'll probably go home and. I told you my goal was to live half the year here, half the year back in California, because I still love it there.
That wasn't your goal when you came, though, right?
No, my goal when I came was just to visit it and have fun, and I guess just party for 3 months. But I love the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I love the people.
And I actually specifically remember when you first said you were going to come, the first number you threw out there was 30 days.
Yeah, 30 days.
And I convinced you. I was like, trust me, get a tourist visa, so if you want to stay for 2 months... You can, and you have the option of staying for 3.
Well, no, it was actually, I was going to get a visa on arrival, which is only good for 30 days.
Yeah.
But like, no, trust me, because what if you just can't get a flight in 30 days, or you find one that's cheaper a few days later? You'll wish you had the visa, and then you'd have all the freedom. So you're like, dude, get a dual entry tourist visa.
Okay. How did you do that?
I actually had to take a day and drive up to LA, pay $80, and they issued it to me the next day.
Okay. But it's pretty straightforward, right?
Oh, it's straightforward.
Okay. So if you don't live near LA, you can just Google whatever your local consulate you have, Thailand consulate. But yeah, 100% get at least a single entry tourist visa, if not a double entry.
I would definitely recommend a double entry.
Okay. If you're gonna go there anyways, you should get a double.
Yeah.
Because it's it's like $40 more, but you don't have to go through the application process again.
Yeah, save yourself a trip.
Okay. Was there anything that you wish that you would have brought or done differently?
I got some things I can't say that I wish I would have brought, like I was telling you earlier.
More condoms?
What could I have done differently? Oh, my shaver. I wish I had that fucking thing now.
Beard trimmer?
Beard trimmer.
Okay.
No. I think I have everything I need. I left my Chromecast at home. Bring a Chromecast.
Okay.
Because you can stream I can stream from my tablet to my TV, and I can't do that. And I only get one English channel, and it's pissing me off.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie channel. It's like all really, really recent movies.
Or just bring a HDMI cable.
Or you can bring an HDMI cable, but I'm like a wireless guy.
I actually thought about buying a whatever the Apple TV thing is, and then I was like, why do I need this? My laptop is 4 feet away from my TV. Can I just plug a cable in and just watch it off of that?
Yeah, I guess, but then I'm working it off a laptop, and I don't, I'm real lazy.
That's what I really think that most of the things that we spend money on, we have back home in the US, is literally just out of laziness.
Maybe a little, but
because all right, it's
Chromecast is $20.
Yeah, but you know what? These things add up. I guarantee if I lived in the US, I would have Chromecast 100%. I would also have Amazon Prime membership.
Yeah. Well, we got the Amazon Business membership now too. It's almost the same.
Okay, so yeah, sign up for Amazon Business membership so you can get free shipping, and what else do you get?
Well, it doesn't matter if you're not a business owner, but they'll issue you product ID numbers and things like that. Maybe
tax breaks. Maybe
tax breaks.
But you know what? The thing is, everyone can be a business owner. Like I really 100% believe this. I mean, like a drop shipping store. Like if you're a US if you're a US citizen, you can just be a sole proprietor, and it's basically like a 5-minute process of going online. For whatever reason, you have to do it during business hours, US, even though it's online, which is stupid. But you say, hey, I'm making a business under my name. Mm-hmm. This is who I am. This is my social security number, and they give you a EIN, a basic federal tax ID number, and now you're a business owner. And then you can go to another website, like in California, you can go to the California resale license certificate website, and then they're like, here you go, you can buy stuff now at Costco or wherever you go, tax free.
Yeah.
And it's such I used to think it was such a big deal to start a company.
Yeah.
And now I realize it's so freaking easy.
Oh, it's so simple.
And even now that I've started an LLC in Wyoming, like that took me 20 minutes.
I still need to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you don't even need to do it right now. You can kind of it's one of those things you can just put off until.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. But if you want to do it, it's a 20-minute process. I write about it on my blog. I'll send you a link to it. But people overcomplicate things.
They definitely overcomplicate things.
Even moving halfway around the world to Thailand.
Yeah, it was easier than I thought it would be. Like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I thought oh my god, I had to get this in order and this in order. I got to get all this other shit, and that's kind of why I booked such a short ticket, or I didn't have that much time before I actually left. I didn't want to overcomplicate things. I typically tend to overthink everything, but I was like, oh fuck, let me just get a backpack and roll my clothes into it, and I'm off. I don't have time to fuck around with anything else.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think that's a good deadline for everyone to do.
Yeah, 7 days.
7 days. I think 7 days is a bit short. I would do a month probably. But seriously, if you ever thought about moving out here, you buy yourself a plane ticket a month out, and then make a list of things you need to do. Get a double entry tourist visa, buy a beard trimmer, order another 1,000 box of condoms. Just get an HDMI cable, bring your Chromecast, order a gi if you do jiu-jitsu. I mean, there's not that much you need to do. I mean, start some kind of business. I really have tried very earnestly to get every one of my friends and people that just read my blog, to live this life, because I am genuinely happy. You could probably tell.
Yeah, you are a genuinely happy guy. You can tell in your laugh.
So all right. So what do you think my life would have been like if I had stayed in the U.S.? What do you remember of me? What I was like, and what do you think I would be now?
I don't know what you would be like back home in the U.S. I don't. You're definitely not a corporate guy. You. There's no way you would have hacked at that job for more than another 6 months.
I got fired from it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know. Maybe you'd be homeless.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that you would have discovered how to do e-commerce.
No way.
Now you have your own course. You're an affiliate. You have multiple streams of online income, which is so awesome. Which is one of my goals while I'm here as well.
Dude, like I firmly believe that having more than one stream is the way to go.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah,
I definitely think you got to. Because I feel so like, you know, we say like we have to have the abundance mentality, and online e-commerce isn't going anywhere. But, you know, like I fear like a business cycle recession could really hurt what I do, because, you know, you don't have to buy.
You don't need to buy a gun.
Yeah, you don't need to buy a gun. You don't need to buy, you know, new bidet or whatever the fuck. You know, you don't need this. So if I had another stream of income that was totally, completely separate, kind of the way you have it, it would be nice. You know,
yeah, and I think even then, like even you know, regardless of the economy, it's just nice having.
Yeah, it's just nice having like 2 separate checks coming from a different direction. It's like, dude.
And here's the crazy thing: is one doesn't affect the other.
Right.
Like, I've always kind of made a similar amount. Okay, so if you look back on my income reports on Johnny FD, I pretty much made the same amount for, let's say, my books, my Kindle sales. Like that hasn't changed that much. You know, like I try, you know, I tweak things to optimize it a bit. But in general, it makes like $200 or $250 a month. That like it doesn't really change that much. It's kind of set. You know, in general, I make, let's say, $5,000 for my dropshipping stores, and that doesn't change that much unless I start another store. Then I can grow. You know, but in general, like these things are kind of, you know, I'm gonna make that much regardless of if I create something else or not. Mm-hmm. You know,
sure.
But then now that I have another source of income, that just adds on top of it, you know, like by me now having, so when I have my affiliate income, that doesn't affect my book sales or my dropshipping income. You know, if I make $1 or if I make $2,000 from affiliate income, my actual stores do the same regardless if I'm promoting it or not.
Everything you do is pretty hands off though. Like once you have it set up, you're not going in and fucking with it every day.
Yeah, no.
For hours on end, you know, you kind of set it up, you know, you'll take the month or how many weeks it takes to get it going, and once it's on autopilot, you kind of move on to another project.
Yeah, and I think is I'll like update things once in a while, but I don't spend that much time doing it because I really like semi. So I think ideally I would like completely passive income, but in reality, that's not like
completely passive income's a myth.
Yeah, but I'm very happy with semi-passive income.
Yeah,
you know, like things that I can just take a look at briefly once a week. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, check an email. Like if I get an order, I'll fulfill it. If I don't, I just don't even look at the store.
Oh, you don't even look at your email over the weekends?
Yeah, I don't. And you know, the things about like affiliate marketing, that's 100% passive now. You know, like I'll set it up in the beginning, but then after that, it like things that you've done 6 months or a year ago, like a blog post I wrote a year ago will still get traffic. Mm-hmm. You know, a review I made on something, you know, 2 years ago will still get traffic, and I'll like sometimes I'll see I'm like, oh wow, I can't believe I sold that. Like it's, you know, someone must have found a 2-year-old blog post, which is insane. You know. Yeah,
that's incredible. That's my I'm doing it next.
Yeah,
that'll be my next project.
Is it?
It will.
All right, well,
I already promised you.
You're a member of the course.
I am.
So, Chris kind of let the cat out of the bag. I haven't really mentioned it. I don't think I mentioned it on any of my podcasts yet. So at 59 minutes, I'm going to mention it. But if you check my blog, johnnyfd.com, my new course is officially available. It's earnestaffiliate.com, and I'm excited for it. I mean, like, when I don't think you even knew I was doing.
No, you actually kind of sprung it on me right before I came out here.
What did I tell you?
I think you had a WordPress question, maybe.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what? I thought you used Shopify for everything. And then you told me about the course you were making. Oh, I think first you told me that your affiliate sales were going well. I think I asked you about maybe it was that Chromecast YouTube thing. And then you showed me your newest project, and I was like, "Oh my god, you've been working on this whole time?"
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, "Dude, you're way more productive than me." And then I was like, "Okay, let me have a membership to it."
So, I've had 20 people I think so far as of today, there's 20 paid members in the course, just because I didn't want to blow it up yet. I didn't want like a million people joining and then having problems like with videos not loading or things like that. But now, you know, everything's pretty much 100% running smoothly. The forums are up. Most of the videos are up now, and I'm adding new content every day. So now I'm very confident that if you join the course, that you're going to get a ton of value out of it. You're going to love it. Everything's going to work smoothly. And my goal is to teach exactly what I did these last 2 years with my blogs, my YouTube channel, this podcast, and how I make money through affiliate marketing in a very kind of earnest and honest way, you know? And I really believe that you can make money recommending things that you genuinely use. I mean, is there anything I recommend that I don't use?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. And it's like, it doesn't, and the thing is, by having this abundance mentality, if I recommend something that genuinely works, you know, to more people, and they do it as well, and then they benefit from it, I will benefit from it in the long run. You know, I could think the short term and be like, I'm creating more competition for myself, or, so let's say I like, one of the things I promote is Shopify, because I use it, right? And if I promote it, yeah, maybe they'll raise the monthly price, and I'll end up paying more for it per month, you know, because they become more popular. But I'm not going to think that way. I'm going to think, this is a service that I use, that I really enjoy, that I've gotten a lot of benefit from. I'm going to promote it and let everyone know how good it is. And if they sign up through my link, I get commission for it. And I'm not thinking of the short run, you know, creating more competition for myself. I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking these people that I recommended it to that start doing well themselves, like people like you, Chris, and like, you know, just like literally hundreds of other people now. And it's crazy that some of them just randomly drop by Punspace too.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're like a local celebrity.
And you know what, I really believe that the more people that I can kind of empower and show them, you know, because like Chris is, you know, is a good friend of mine for I don't know how many years now, since college, so more than 10 years I think.
Jesus.
You know, like I can't personally sit down and show everyone like, hey, this is how I started my store. You know, hey, let's call suppliers together. Like I just physically cannot do it. But by me recommending something like Anton's course, because that's the course I took, other people can do it too. You know, and then for affiliate marketing, this course is basically showing people exactly what I did. And I even had these case studies in there, which at first I was honestly a little bit hesitant to show that much detail, because I'm showing you guys exactly how much I make from each source, how I promote it, you know, where the traffic's coming from, how much I make from each thing. And it's crazy, because it's not it actually forced me to sit down and look to see what my traffic sources are, and they weren't what I thought they were. And then look at the product, how much I'm making from each product, and I realize I think I have between 5 and 10 that make more than a couple $100 a month.
Nice.
And I honestly never calculated how much money I made from affiliate marketing until that day I spoke to you.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I do. I remember it clearly. It stung. It stung a lot.
What did I say? Do you remember?
I don't necessarily want to give a number either, but you know.
But basically in the course, I go through like my 2004 and 2014 and then 2015 like dashboards of all my affiliate courses I promote, all the products I promote, all the services I promote, and I'm like, this is what I made from this. This is what I made from this. This is how this is where the traffic came from.
Even on Monday, what was that, yesterday? You showed me your ClickBank over the weekend when we were doing the yoga and that pool party. You never checked your email, and then Monday morning you opened your ClickBank. You're like, Chris, look at this. I was like, fuck me.
And the thing is, I wish I can kind of just show this super openly to everyone, but not everyone is going to be earnest and understand, like, first off, how to do it. I don't want to just create a bunch of copycats for no reason. But I don't mind showing people who are genuine and earnest and want to do it in their own niches and want to do it in a kind of like an honest, ethical way. So that's why the course is available. And just to be 100% clear, like, and open about it, is I didn't make this course to charge $200 and let people in forever. My goal is this course is going to be $500, and there's a chance that it might be more than that in the future, because I'm kind of showing a lot of very personal stuff. And honestly, it's not really worth me showing it to everyone for $200, because this is like years of hard work.
I don't think so either.
And years of personal information.
I actually have an email from you from 2009, I think. Telling me about your affiliate business and how to do it. When you were trying to convince me to move out here. You were trying to convince me to make money as an affiliate. I was like, I don't even know what that is. And the answer is no anyways.
But it took me 6 years to finally figure it out. And, now I finally figured it out.
I'd say so.
Yeah. So, I spent a lot of time, a lot of money figuring this stuff out, and that's why the price is going to be a lot higher. But you guys are kind of lucky because for the first 60 days, I believe, and so this can be another month or so. ClickBank, the service I'm on, forces a price cap of $200 just because they want you to have a track record, of people in the course. So as soon as that month and a half is up, or probably a month from now, that I'm driving the price up. But I wanted to let everyone know that if you guys do want to join for kind of the intro price, you guys are welcome to, and you guys will get lifetime access. I'm not going to limit everyone saying you only get version 1.0. Mm-hmm. Like whatever updates I put in, whatever the new videos are, whatever the new modules are, you guys can get access to that. So excited! I'm really excited, man. Like,
good.
I want to train like an army of affiliate marketing entrepreneurs now.
That seems to be the way to go out here, man.
Yeah. Like some people are crushing it. I'm lucky because I have access. I'm friends with people making $1,000 a day on affiliate marketing.
Ridiculous.
They're making a lot more than I am, but I'm learning from them, and I'm going to share these tips with you as well. So, in the course, not only am I going to show you what I've done personally to make, extra couple $1,000s a month, I'm going to show you guys how, as I learn, because we're going to be in this private community together, I'm going to give you guys access and kind of show you what I'm doing in the future to scale it up even more. So join, become an earnest affiliate. Chris, thank you for being on the show.
So glad to be here.
Dude, it's been fun, right?
It's been fun.
Thank you for being in Thailand, to be honest. And because it's nice having an old friend, someone kind of from my old life out here as well doing this.
Oh, it's been so much fun out here.
All right. So, see you guys. Peace out. Thank you for listening to the Travel Like a Boss podcast. If you want to hear more, including the bonus How to Choose the Perfect Niche episode, join our mailing list at travellikeabosspodcast.com. See you next week, and remember, if you want to travel like a boss, you need to be your own boss. So start your online business today and start living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of.